Podcast of Pain, the podcast where I talk any and all things nerd, movies, video games, even Funko Pops. I am your host, the D, and this is episode number 47, TV Dads. You can't have TV moms with no TV dads, so I'm going to even it up on both sides so that all y'all are happy, and I'm going to talk TV dads. Now, I mentioned this in the last episode, that I feel like my list is probably going to greatly mirror the mom's list, but I'll go a little deeper into some of these things, I guess. We'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I also want to mention that the podcast The Pain is sponsored by Chimera Illustration and Design, my NERDVANA Toys and Collectibles, and our homies Tactical TRASHOUT. I want to also let you guys know about our fellow podcasts. All right. ATSW, the whole family is there. They are kind of, what should I say? Kind of dysfunctional. Don't you know? Anyway, we got the ATSW family, such as the Sidebar Cantina. You can find them Mondays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stranger Things has happened every other Saturday at 9 p.m. So, like I said, last Saturday, just fucking follow them. It'll bing for you. They're going over season 3 of Stranger Things, their first watch through. It's fun. It's fun. Used and Abused podcast. They are currently on hiatus, so fuck them right now. Swede Studios on Swede, and I know it. Something Swede. Save Swede Bueller. He's got a lot of shows. He does music. I need to put a note down that I had to watch and listen to some of his stuff. Layman's Terms on YouTube. Like we said before, he does it whenever the fuck he feels like it. If he's got something to bitch about or something on his noggin, gotta have him back on the show too. That'll be fun. As well as ATSW, the Escape Pod. That is Brady Lovin, Don Della Snooch, and Dragon Buddy. You can find them every Wednesday, 7:05 Eastern Standard Time in the PM on the Tubes of You. And I believe you can find all these motherfuckers except for, I don't know who's on who's got the podcast too, that audio podcast. I know you can also find ATSW, the Escape Pod, on all your podcasting applications except for what one went away. Stitcher? I think Stitcher went away. Fuck Stitcher. Anywho, and I also want to shout out another podcast homie, Partners in Crime, with Ashley and Curtis. That you can find them on Apple and Spotify. So that's what we got. I'm not gonna go into any major bullshit, I guess. So I find out that Lorraine Bracco, you guys know me, I'm a big Sopranos fan. That is my thing, my jam, my show. She's gonna be at Motor City Comic Con in November. Like, how the fuck do you expect people like to do Christmas? I mean, with Christmas so close, and I just spent $40 on a fucking hot Cheeto costume for Lena, $20 on a Wednesday Addams-ish dress for Piper. Man, y'all are killing us. I think she wants like $60 for an autograph or a picture. It really pisses me off. There's a lot of good guests on all these Comic Cons. I believe who's coming up in Grand Rapids Comic Con is going to have a couple of people. They were going to have I don't want to say the little girl, but the girl that played in the suit as Megan. Well, at least in the head as Megan. She just canceled. They were going to have Karen Allen from all the Indiana Jones movies, Scrooge and such. She was going to be at Motor City, I believe, and she canceled. So, yeah, get out of the fucking house if you can. And if you can't, weep with the rest of us that are broke as fuck. Because we can't go, and we would love to. Movies. Oh, yeah, movies. This actually lines up perfect with our topic. I just watched the brand new Netflix flick with Bill Burr, you fucking ginger. Why don't you come over here and tell your fucking jokes to all the people in the world? He just put out a new movie called Old Dads. So I'm watching it, and Lena and Piper, well, Piper says, Dad, I know why you watch this. I'm like, oh, yeah, why's that? Because you're a dad. And Lena chimes in without blinking an eye, and you're old. Thanks, kids. Thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, Bill Burr. I don't know any of the other actors right off. I know that C. Thomas Howell makes an appearance in this film, but it's basically about three dads who are getting older. They're in their mid 40s. They have young kids, and they're living their day to day, working, mingling with, I guess, the new age cats, the new age crowds, if you will, like vaping and cisgenders and transgender and uh, all that, all the new shit that irritates the fuck out of me. So I guess, yeah, this is my perfect fucking movie. Parenting, all that shit. It's a great movie. It gave me quite a laugh. If you are not a fan of Bill Burr, it might irritate the fuck out of you. Just because how he fucking talks like this and he calls everybody a cunt. But it's a good fucking flick. So check it out. Old Dads on Netflix. Anything else happening that I want to discuss before I jump into the meat and potatoes, if they will? I'm learning some new Photoshop tricks, so hopefully I can do some shit with this fucking green screen that I had made over a year and a half of fucking go and never really used it, utilized it, what have you. I got some plans. I got some plans, man. I got notebooks, I got pens, I got paper, I got pencils. Make sure to go to the patreon.com and search Podcast Pain in your creator bar. And yeah, you know, I'm a whore for money, and I'll draw you a picture instead of groping your balls or whatever to get $15 shot in the mouth. I'll draw you a picture instead. Okay. I'm working on one with Brian right now, or for Brian, my top tier patron. So shout out to him. Shout out to Queef Hurley. Shout out to Don Della Snooch. And now let's get into it. So TV dads, pretty simple, pretty straight to the fucking point. Who are my favorite TV dads that I grew up with? In the comments, after you guys view this, or if you are listening, right into the Facebook and tell me who your favorite TV dads were. I will mention, because I'm pre-recording this, I will mention you guys in the next episode. We'll go gloss over. We'll do like a recap of the last episode. I think that's something I'm gonna start doing. Recap the last episodes. But who are your favorite television dads? You know, to coincide with your favorite television moms. I gotta clean the fucking room. Bad. Anyway, who are your favorite TV dads to coincide with your favorite TV moms? Let me get a little bit more comfortable. I reach up and I have to grab the microphone, just like this. All right. So, these are so good. I'm gonna get these motherfuckers to sponsor me. I'm gonna at least make a podcast of pain. Mike's Hard Lemonade logo. It's gonna be amazing. Because it tastes amazing. It really does. It calms me the fuck down. So, in no particular order, let's go over some of my favorite dads from TV. I'm gonna say Red Foreman. I think one of you guys mentioned Kitty Foreman, and I like his no bullshit attitude. You know, he's trying to teach Eric to be a man and how to take care of himself when he's on the road. He doesn't want him to be a dumbass, you know, and I'd say that's exactly what I want for my kids. You know, teach them how to manage money, teach them how to not take bullshit from anybody, teach them life-saving tips, you know, how to change a fucking tire. You know, motherfuckers don't know how to do that. And it's easy. It's a little stressful when the fucking car only has one of those bullshit stock fucking jacks. Those are not fun to use. But anyway, pretty self-explanatory. I still have the heebie-jeebies from him because he played Boddicker in RoboCop. That's another motherfucker. Peter Weller is going to be at one of these fucking conventions. I don't know if it's Grand Rapids. I think it's going to be Motor City. But fuck them. We're not giving them clout. We don't like them. We like some of the guests they bring, but it's such a corporately structured, corporately run event. You know what I mean? They don't want you to have fun. They don't give a fuck if you have fun. They just want your money. Whereas Astronomicon 7, astronomicon.com, they hope that you have nothing but a good time. You know, they have events for your kids. I'm sure there's going to be face painting there again this year. There's a cosplay contest for not only adults, but the kids. So again, Lena, Piper, if you want to enter, you need to keep your fucking costume and shit together. You need to start working on that hardcore after Astronomicon 7. So we'll see. Every kid gets a prize. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. And it's not a participation trophy either. I don't know to the extent that they give prize, like what it is exactly, but it's not going to be bullshit. It's going to take, you guys get to take away something from Astronomicon for participating. I think they had a dance party, they had karaoke, they put on concerts in-house. They got some pretty I don't like the chicken wings or the chicken fingers that they have there, chicken tenders, whatever you call them. I don't like that, man. They look suspect. You know, like when you boil chicken or when you boil hamburgers, how they have that off color. These chicken tenders have that off color. Put them in the fucking oven like a normal human being or fry them. Even better. You guys have a fully functional kitchen in there. Get your shit together, Burton Manor. And speaking of which, so there's a lot of fucking drama going on. Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna get sidebarred, but I got sidebarred. There's a lot of fucking drama going on between the camps at ICP and Twisted. And I know you guys don't give a fuck, but I'm a juggalo, and that's my jam. That's a big part of who I am. So I pay attention. Love the music, love the atmosphere. For the most part, I love the atmosphere. But I'm trying to like retrace steps and see what all the fuck happened, what went wrong. And I've been watching the interview Scotty D from Fago Lovers, whoop whoop, did with ICP several years ago, trying to recap all the ins and the outs, the cracks in the foundation, why Twisted left, why they're beefing now. So that's more of a me tidbit that I want my future self to go back and this is what we talked about. Anyway, back to the list. Al Bundy. Man, there's so much of this man that is me. He's crotchety, he's grumpy. You know what I mean? He goes to work, he wants to fucking kill himself every fucking day. His kids, he loves his fucking kids, but they're knuckleheads. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know who's worse, Kelly or Bud. Maybe that's another thing I'm gonna do is like TV kids. You know, who's an asshole, who's bitch, who's stupid as hell. But yeah, I can definitely relate to whatever the hell Al Bundy considers his problem to be. Huh, I just want to sit on the couch and without further ado, this belt is too tight. Oh, fuck it. Anyway, Homer Simpson. I have a couple of reasons for why I feel Homer Simpson's a good TV dad, a standout TV dad. I mean, I've watched The Simpsons from the Genesis when I was on the Tracy Ullman show all the way, and like his evolution or de-evolution, because he was better. I think he was better spoken in the first and second season, and then he just he got smoother drawn, but he was dumbed down quite a bit, like a bumbling idiot. I think he has simple wants and needs as well, you know, goes to work, which he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I give him props, you know. It's not I mean, does anybody out there work as like a nuclear technician at a nuclear power plant or at a power plant in general? How are they paid? Are they paid well? Because it always seemed like they weren't they struggled a little bit here and there, but they weren't like destitute, you know. They scrimped and they saved and they went on vacations and stuff like that. But I feel like how it's portrayed, the nuclear technicians aren't really paid all that well. It's just a regular 9 to 5 type of job, you know, minimum, maybe not minimum wage, but whatever you guys typical wage in a shop, kind of like that, you know. One thing about Homer Simpson, and I'm going to bring this up as well. I'm doing an episode on religion for the Patreon. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Jesus, God, Catholics, what Christians, all that, it's going to be recorded. It's planned to be recorded on Wednesday, next Wednesday, which is the 1st of November, if I'm not mistaken. But it's only for patrons, so subscribe, get your Patreonage, and I'm gonna have a couple of special guests. They're gonna give me their insight and their views and their beliefs and all that, and how they came to be in the religious situation that they're in. I don't mean to make that sound weird. I just don't know how to word it. Trying to keep it bland and neutral. But Homer Simpson, that's where I started really. There was an episode where he said, "Fuck that! I'm not going to church every day. I mean, isn't God everywhere?" And I don't want to I don't want to get too deep into it, but there was a lot of religious ideas that I picked up from Homer Simpson. So I appreciate the fuck out of him for that. I don't want to like do all these at once. I want to like narrow them all down. Save the good ones for last. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tim the Tool Man Taylor. Home Improvement. Oh yeah, Home Improvement. How stupid! His goddamn beard and it. Oh yeah, it's flannel. It's great. I liked Home Improvement. I know probably a lot of people didn't. I never really caught any of Tim Allen's stand up, but I always loved Home Improvement. And then when he came out with Last Man Standing, he was pretty much the same guy, just a different job. Um, He was hardcore into his fucking Lions, man. I could give him props. The Lions should be like sending all you motherfuckers that still rep really hard, like Don Wandela Snooch. I mean, I don't know how you guys are supportive of this team. They suck, man. They suck. You guys just go ahead and stick to Michigan State. And I'm not a fucking sports fan either. I hate when my Facebook gets cluttered with all the goddamn hip hop and hoopity what with all the blue and green or blue and maize and the green and white and who's better. And all I know is, man, from what I've seen, Michigan State got whooped. So at what point do the state fans have to shut up? Not that they want to, not that they should, but like, when do you get whooped that bad? You have to shut up. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. They're already dead. That's goddamn good. Well, I'll tell you what. Tim Taylor, he was a dumb motherfucker. Like, he had his own tool show, but he consistently and perpetually just fucked up all of his projects in the house. Eventually, he got them right. That's kind of, I feel like, handy to that degree. I definitely do not know jack shit about tools and home repair and all this other bullshit. I scream out loud. I fucking punch the fucking wall. I kick shit. I try and get it done. And I stand back and I look at it like, oh, fuck, that looks horrible. Just paint over it. Fuck it. Just paint over it. It doesn't matter. Put a picture frame over it. It'll be all right. But eventually in the end, like, his big projects usually turn out pretty good. His fucking lawnmower, he built that goddamn, not Mustang, his hot rod. That was fucking unbelievable. He built Jill's bathroom, a room in the basement for Randy. You know what I mean? He did pull off some pretty good shit. I mean, I know that it's scripted that way, you guys. I'm not a fucking retard, but I'm just saying his character always came through. And he was definitely a caring dad. You know what I mean? Uh there were a lot of times where where Tim Taylor would look sideways at something his boys said or did, but he always tried to be all on top, supportive, no matter what. And I think that's what part of what a good dad is. And that's why I added a lot of these on. I got a fucking zit and I'm picking at it, but that's why I added a lot of these guys on this list because that's how it should be. The moms on this list, they had their fucking moments where they flipped the fuck out, lost their shit, wanted to kill them goddamn kids, but they always stuck by them. That's what a parent does. I'm not one of those. All right, when you hit 18, you're out on your ass kind of parent. Help your kids through your struggles. That's part of your job. I mean, you can definitely pull them aside and say, "Look, you're a fucking idiot. Stop doing that. Stop saying that. stop wearing that, But for overall, these dads are really supportive and helpful and care about their kids. Philip Banks, Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And this also kind of goes in with Carl Winslow. I almost didn't put Carl Winslow on the list just because I don't remember any major moments with him. Uncle Phil was a G, so basically a surrogate father. And I mean like his relationship, not only with his own kids, but with Will when he came in and moved in to get away from Philly and all that shit. Nah, he was a very profound. Was he a lawyer or a judge? He was a lawyer, correct? Yes, he was a lawyer. Um, powerful dude. You know what I mean? He's been around though. He worked his way up. He scrimped and he scraped and got himself up there, got himself to where he is, and he wants that for his kids. So anytime Hillary or Ashley or Carlton and Will would get into shit, he'd always be there. He'd do his thing. He'd scare the fuck out. Did you know he played Shredder in the original Ninja Turtle cartoon series? That's the fucking shit. That's the fucking shit. Anyway, it was kind of the same thing. I'm not gonna say the same thing about Carl. He wasn't the man. Like he wasn't Murtaugh. He was just the basic rookie cop, or not a rookie cop. I don't know, like right in the middle, like a sergeant. Um, but yeah, he always took care of business. He was goofier than the two of them, and I think that was the overall goofiness. There's a lot of these motherfuckers on here who just playing goofy, and I don't need Carl Winslow's. I threw him in there. Just throw him in there. Honestly, like a mercy. I liked him. I mean, it's basically the same cop, but I liked him as Al Powell in Die Hard better than I liked, him on Carl, him in Family Matters. Then we have, okay, so I'm gonna save a couple of these. Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. What can you say, man? Hopper from Stranger Things. I asked the kids, like, who are your favorite TV dads? I think Lena said she liked Homer over Peter from Family Guy, which I'm like, all right. And then I started thinking about their favorite shows, Stranger Things. Worst dad award, I'm going to go ahead and give to Ted Wheeler. I mean, he's a parent, you know what I mean? But he doesn't do anything above and beyond. He just is very bland, very dry, very dull. What I do? What I do? I mean, you got fucking Hopper. Hopper's on my list. He's saving 11 from the fucking upside down. He's basically the gatekeeper, if you will. He goes through all the crazy shit that he's gone through in that show. And then you got Ted Wheeler. What are you doing, Ted? Not an interesting character. If he got in the mix with the upside down or whatever, we'd miss him. Would we? No, we wouldn't. Bring Barb back. Bring fucking Billy back. Bring Eddie Munson back. Take Ted Wheeler. Get the fuck out of here. I also wanted to say the grandpa from Princess Bride, Peter Falk. I added him on there. I know it's not a TV father, but I had to throw him in as a honorable mention because he reminded me of my grandpa to the extent, like, if we were sick, he'd bring us some medicine or soup or check in on us or whatever like that. But he would never, ever, 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 ever come and read an entire Princess Brooke novel to my sick ass. Nope, we're gonna put on the movie. And it was very old school. He had that gravelly voice like Sam Elliott. Kind of had the same kind of mustache, almost the same kind of mustache. I almost feel like there's a lot of his aura going through Sam Elliott. I think a lot of that's him. Hey, dude. He doesn't take no bullshit. Very old school. You know what I mean? But I had to add that because I thought it was fucking funny. He would never come and read. I mean, I read the whole book. I don't know if any of you Princess Bride fans have ever read that book. It's a very long book. You know what I mean? Like movie in and out in 2 hours. The book, holy shit. I wanted to punch Buttercup myself. All right. We are nearing the end of the episode. This is ridiculously short, but fuck it. I had to get it done, right? We're gonna do a couple more. I got my honorable mentions in there. Here we go. Walter White from Breaking Bad. Um, he was one of those really dry, basic dads. Sense of humor. Say what you will about it. And it was only until like, all right, he discovered methamphetamines, manufacturing and the selling of methamphetamines, that he like, okay, all right, you know what, we can make some money. He had his plan, man. He had worked out to the dollar how much money he needed to take care of his medical bills, the kids through college, pay off the house, everything. That's amazing. That's dope. It only lasted for a second though, because he gets hardcore and he loses sight of what he was trying to do very quickly in that show. But I wanted to make him an honorable mention because, you know, would you sell drugs for your kids and your family? I mean, come on. It was perfectly set up though, the way his brother-in-law is a DEA agent. You know what I mean? A lot of those fucking pieces fell into place. The way it worked out, it was a very captivating show. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Walter White, he's on my honorable mention list. And then, bum, 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 we also have on the list Dan Connor from Roseanne. That goes without saying. That really goes without saying. I mean, I have Roseanne Connor on my, like I said, the blue collar family. It reminded me of my own household. When I was growing up, everybody was working. Everybody kind of had to pull together and do for themselves, and in a way, do it for everybody else. They work as a team, and he reminded me so much of that asshole in there. Like when he would flip out, like he was jovial, he was humorous. But you don't want to get that motherfucker mad. Now he's a bowl of oatmeal up here. But yeah, back in the day, ooh man, only person I was ever been afraid of. What else we got? Oh, I got one more, and this is my favorite TV dad. You might not have seen this coming, but it's him. It's true. It's motherfucking Tony Soprano. See now I need to mess around with the audio settings, the microphone settings, and figure out the optimal spot to hang this bitch, because I like the way this sounds. I like it. It sounds good. It sounds deep. It sounds sexy. Mm. What up, Escape Pod? I also want to shout out really quick before I forget. It was yesterday, but the homie Sterile Errol turned 41. What are you, that young? Much younger than me, motherfucker? Little baby, but you can tell he's feeling it. He's got a daughter. He's 4. She's a ball. She's a spitfire. Oh man, you can definitely tell they're quite the pair. They go together like lamb and tuna fish. But happy birthday, motherfucker. Um, yeah, that's it. Love you, man. No homo. Anyway, the final is Tony Soprano. Favorite show of all time is HBO's David Chase's The Sopranos. Great, great flick. And there's a lot of me that I see. I see a lot of me in Tony. I will say this: the whole therapy thing didn't work out that way. I thought for sure I was going to go in there and start motherfucking fucking bitch ass, fuck you. No, I'm way too timid for that, and I want to respect the therapist's space. You know what I mean? I don't want to be marked in a separate colored folder. Like, oh my god, I got this fucking guy again. But yeah, his it's very much like Walter White. What he does to support the family isn't really isn't really right. You know what I mean? It's not really morally or legally right. You know what I mean? But he still does it for them. He's not just trying to make money and he wants them to have all the stuff they want. He wants them to have the house that they want. He wants them to go to college if that's what they decide to do. You know what I mean? And Man, holy shit, man. He had fucking problems, but I think if you have kids, you have fucking problems. You know what I mean? They fuck you up too. And it was the family business, getting into the mob or not the mob or this thing of ours. So it wasn't all him. He had a vision for himself too. He wanted to get enough money to take care of them financially if something were to happen to him. You know what I mean? And that's basically the overall general consensus idea uh, of this TV dads is like, how they took care of their kids, why they did what they did as a parent. The overall, just look on the outside looking in, the just gloss over it. What kind of people are these? Yeah, he's a fucking cold blooded killer, and he's not a model citizen or a model husband, but you know what I mean. He does the absolute best he can for his kids. All these dads did, man, all of them. So, with the exception of Ted Wheeler, fucking town's burning down. You're fucking eating Eggo waffles and bacon, just sitting there. He has a fucking 4-word vocabulary. Ted Wheeler, absolutely not, sir. But yeah, I would like to hear and read your guys' responses to your list, your top favorite TV dads. Add whoever you want, a dad that stands out as the worst or the best, or give me a list of both at the podcast of pain at gmail.com, or you can do the Facebook thing. Facebook's easier. It's easier to keep track of people that way. Do I have anything else to mention? No. I'm working on a new theme song or maybe an updated theme song. I really like the theme song. I can't imagine doing a new one. And then I'm gonna have to work on an outro because YouTube, man, I don't want to get flagged and taken down because um faster horses or not faster horses, pussycat something, pussycat horses or some shit like that. They're responsible. They do the song at the end, House of Pain. And shout out to Matt for suggesting it. It's been great. I think it's a great way to end the show, but YouTube has their rules and I get it. I think they're a little aggressive in their approach of that, but I'm gonna need to fucking redo the theme song for that. So instead, I'm going to go through, I'm gonna pick one of the songs from goddamn from goddamn I don't have any music on here. I don't have any music on here. Patreon. Well, fuck it. This time I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one last time. Um, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. Make sure you check out all of the podcasts, homies. Make sure you check out the sponsors. And then I need to find. I like tpublic.com. I think I get good product from them. It sucks when you try and wash said product, but I like them. But I'm looking for possibly somebody. I might hit up Stacy. If you're watching Stacy, I'm gonna make a couple of shirts and I'm gonna have her print them out because I think she does good work for not a whole lot of money. So I'm gonna take advantage of that while she's still doing it. But I want to get something with all the sponsors on the back, so everybody knows. Anyway, I want you guys to be excellent to each other and always party on, dude. Or anything in between that by his dog Scooby. Big ass Great Dane. But he's doing good. Sends his love. That's about it. Astronomicon.com. My Nerdvana. I'm gonna have to take that out. My Nerdvana Toys and Collectibles. Chimera illustration and design. Tactical trash out. Check them out. Send him my way. Send them my way. Podcast of Pain sent you. Thank you and goodbye.